Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Keeping It Real with J2. I'm Jenny, your Get Stuff Done coach. And as always, I'm joined by my business bestie and resident results Sherpa, Jenny. This week in the US, it's Thanksgiving. That magical mashup of gratitude, gravy, and a touch of chaos. The air smells like cinnamon, sweet potatoes, and someone asking, wait, did we ever preheat the oven? But beneath all the noise and pie crust, this week is the perfect pause. After 4 weeks of experimenting, refining habits, deleting shoulds, and learning to do less with more impact, it's time to slow down and reflect.
Exactly. Growth doesn't come from the grind, it comes from what you learn when you pause. And that's what today's episode is all about. Because the coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs we work with aren't short on effort, they're short on breathing room. And reflection is that breathing room.
So let's talk about what reflection actually looks like inside your business. Every 4 weeks inside Mastery Circle, we take an intentional pause, not to grade ourselves, but to integrate what we've learned. It's how we make sure our focus goals stay aligned with the version of us we're becoming, not the version that set them.
Yes. And that's how you run your business like a lab, not the lottery. You experiment, gather evidence, and then recalibrate. And that's how solopreneurs grow without grinding. So let's walk through 3 ways to make your reflection your growth multiplier, not just another thing on your to do list. So, the first thing is when we reflect on progress, we're not just tracking metrics. We're looking for shifts in how we work, decide, and show up. The small moments that tell you you're becoming the kind of business owner who can sustain your focus goal. Maybe you've recovered a little bit faster after a setback, followed through on a power hour instead of skipping it when you didn't feel like it, or stopped second guessing every decision. Those are the shifts that you're looking for that signal growth is taking root long before the results show up. It is natural to want to look at, okay, am I getting the result yet? So it's not so much what did I complete? What did I check off? What did I do? But am I consistently showing up and doing the actions that will create the result in the long term?
Yeah, for sure. And it's also how you feel. Where was I a month ago versus where I am today? I know I use this example a lot, but when I first posted on social, I wanted to go hide under a rock after hitting post, right?
You're
But
right.
today it's like, okay, we're posting on social today. It's no big deal. So acknowledging that shift helps you spot the signals that your actions are working, or it's spotlighting where it needs a little bit of a nudge. And that's how you grow without grinding, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that question. Asking what feels easier now than it did a month ago, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem, in the scheme of things, like a lot of time. But if you're showing up week after week, committed to the actions that are moving your focus goal forward, they're naturally going to start to feel a little easier. That muscle memory starts to build. So it's not just the results, the metrics that you're tracking, it's the shifts in how you show up. And that's showing that your comfort zone is expanding a little bit. What felt scary at the beginning is feeling a little less scary now that you're 4 weeks in.
Yeah, it's kind of like cooking, right? When we first start cooking, you have the recipe book open and you start second guessing yourself. And you might even call someone and say, hey, it says do this. What does that mean? And now, after you've done it, the same recipe for, I'm not even going to say how many years, you just do it, right? There's no
Right.
second guessing, there's no question. And one thing that I do want to for sure point out here is reflection is not a performance review. You're not sitting down with some manager telling you one good thing and then here's what you need to improve. When you sit down to reflect, notice where comparison tries to sneak in. And it shows up fast. Look at what someone else accomplished and how much further along they seem to be, or even judging your own results against a version of you that had fewer responsibilities and more energy. But your business and your growth are built for your capacity, not theirs. So the goal isn't to match someone else's progress. It's to recognize where you're staying consistent and moving in alignment with your focus goal. So this isn't a grade. You're not grading ourselves.
And I think this is the trap that overachievers fall into
Mm.
so quickly because we do identify with that prior version of ourselves that were going after the A's in school. And I love that you mentioned it's not a performance review because often the performance review is just an entree to say, let me point out where you need to improve your weaknesses. So
Instead of leaning into your strengths,
right,
right?
right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we catch ourselves and clients doing all the time is we'll discount any growth that we've had by using
Mm.
like I only sent 7 DMs or I only showed up 2 times. What we're doing is we're just eroding any confidence that we've gained in the past 4 weeks and showing up and that self trust that we're trying to build that, hey, we are someone who can show up and take this action consistently, even if it doesn't feel super comfortable for us.
Yeah. So when you're reflecting, one of the questions is where can I give myself credit before I give myself critique? And we're just going to ditch the critique part, right? I posted, I DM'd, I showed up, I did these things.
Owning them, like truly owning them.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And the other cool thing is when you're in a group of people and you're sharing your wins, it becomes contagious. When you're able to name, I had this win, no matter how big or small, because most of our wins are micro wins. We're
Yes.
talking about small incremental changes in how we show up or what we're seeing as a result of our actions. But when you name them in a group of people, you're changing the environment and giving everyone else around you the same permission to name and own theirs because we learned to diminish our accomplishments from other people.
Yes. We're not born with that.
We're not-
That's a learned behavior.
And so the third piece that will help you supercharge your growth through reflection. So during this pause, it's really easy to focus on what's missing, the next client, the next milestone, the next level of visibility. But if we introduce gratitude, that flips the lens, that flips us to a different perspective. It brings the attention back to what's actually working for you already, what's already here and what's already proof of your progress. So it's not about pretending that everything is perfect and you have no room to grow or get better. It's about noticing that evidence that you are growing in the middle of all of the messiness that happens when we're going after something that we don't have. And that keeps you grounded, it gives you energy and momentum, and keeps you focused on that destination you're trying to get to.
Yeah, for sure. And you want to start small when you're doing this, and you want to be specific when you're doing this type of gratitude and reflection.
Yeah, I think it's important because what those little details are anchoring your progress, what you're seeing, into reality. This isn't about fantastical, magical unicorn thinking. We're using it to calm the nervous system and your brain where it's spiraling to say, this isn't enough. It's never going to amount to anything, and bring you back to where you are, where certainly you're still in action, you're in motion, you're still working towards creating the result, but you're taking responsibility. You're claiming what it is that you've always wanted or wished for that is already part of your reality. So when I think about this, it's like I really wanted more spaciousness in my day. So when
Right.
I'm focusing my gratitude, it's saying, you have the spaciousness that you were looking to create. You already have that, and leaning into it. So it calms down the brain that says, I'm never going to get to the place that I want to be. There's never going to be a match to the vision. And instead it says, oh no, you've got one piece of this. And so it's
Right.
creating those building blocks.
Yeah. Gratitude is how we claim the parts of our business and life that already match our vision. And this is a perfect example right here. We had talked about a podcast for at least a year, right?
Yes, yes.
And we started with the lives and we were living it. And it was like, okay, we could do this. We're ready to jump in and do the podcast. So by acknowledging and just saying, hey, I am living this, maybe not the perfect vision, but a piece of it, it keeps us steady enough to keep building the rest. And without the grind, that's the key, without the grind.
The grind comes from, I have to get there faster because
Mhm.
this is not enough. And gratitude creates that pause to look around and say, where do I already have what I wanted?
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but every time I've tried to get things faster, the universe has a much different idea, so it doesn't matter how much we push to get it faster, just relax, ease into it, acknowledge what you have accomplished. That's what keeps you going. So, wherever you are this week, in the kitchen, the car, or hiding from family in the pantry, we totally see you. Take a breath and notice how far you've come since you hit play on episode 1. You've tested, you've learned, and you've proven that consistency doesn't have to come with chaos. That's something to be deeply grateful for.
Remember, reflection isn't a report card,
Mm-mm.
it's a reminder. You're not behind, you're becoming. When you use reflection to recalibrate your focus goal, that's how you turn growth into momentum and momentum into mastery. So, from both of us, we're grateful for you.
Mm.
Thank you for showing up, experimenting, and proving that growth does not require grind. And hey, happy Thanksgiving, safe travels. And if you haven't taken the turkey out yet, this is your friendly J2 reminder.
Get that turkey out. Yes. Thanks, guys, for hanging with us on Keeping It Real with J2. If this conversation gave you a little breathing room, share it with a friend who needs to exhale too. And if you're ready to keep this reflection energy rolling, join us for Power Hour Monday. It's our favorite place to get calm, clear, and get shit done grind free. So next week, we'll dive into 5 things to delete from your to-do list right now. Until then, enjoy your pie, your people, and your progress. Bye, everyone.